Thanks for watching ERi-TV, dear viewers. Welcome to our news broadcast. Here are the headlines. Minister Osman Saleh addresses Third South Summit. Call for more efforts to ensure rights of children. Israel's Netanyahu rejects Hamas conditions for hostage deal. Nearly 90 dead after fierce winter storms strike the U.S. In our domestic news, Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, addressed the Third South Summit that was convened in Kampala, Uganda, from 21 to 22 January under the theme Leave No One Behind. In his address, Minister Osman Saleh emphasized the importance of the South Summit as an opportunity to thoroughly reflect and share perspectives on how to strengthen and deepen genuine cooperation and partnership within the Global South, noting that the current summit holds heightened significance due to the interconnected challenges faced by member states undermining the achievements of the development objectives. Minister Osman said that intertwined global crises, including but not limited to unprovoked wars and geopolitical tensions, climate calamities, public health pandemics, and others, are posing serious threats to the global village, with their immediate victims being the deprived and marginalized societies in the Global South. Minister Osman went on to say that in spite of the huge potential and continued pledges, substantial numbers of the Global South, particularly in Africa, remain at a poverty level with stagnating socio-economic conditions. Eritrea, as a country that came out of a 30-year arduous war for independence, with the subsequent devastating border conflicts and the unjust UN Security Council sanctions and the continued unilateral coercive measures, its development endeavors have been critically hampered in realizing the desired aspirations, Minister Osman underscored. Nonetheless, Minister Osman underlined that the resilience of the Eritrean people has seen the country redouble its efforts in rehabilitating the devastated economy through a development strategy anchored on the policy of social justice and partnership, focusing on key sectors requiring to spur growth, such as infrastructure and skills and capacity development. Underlining that against the collective resolve and pledge to leave no one behind, it is paradoxical that national development endeavors of member states are being hampered by the application of coercive unilateral measures for political purposes of the very few powers. Minister Osman called for the measures to be terminated immediately, and the need for strong solidarity of all member states. Minister Osman Saleh expressed on the timely need that the G77 and China to coordinate actions and foster harmonization of resources to ensure sustainable development and redress existing injustices, and hence leave no one behind, and endeavor and facilitate the access, acquisition, and transfer of technology to transform various sectors such as food security, health, energy, infrastructure, manufacturing, and human resources development. Concluding his remarks, Minister Osman strongly stressed that the war unleashed on the Palestinian civilian population and public institutions to stop immediately, and the inalienable rights and aspirations of the Palestinian people to be fully respected. At an activity assessment meeting conducted in Karen on 19 January, the Minister of Labour and Social Welfare branch in the Ansbar region called for more efforts to ensure the rights of children and avoid harmful traditional practices that are negatively affecting the physical and psychological development of women. According to the report presented at the meeting, in 2023, over 5 million nakfa has been allocated for medical treatment and monthly payments toward disabled veterans, and about 24 million nakfa has been dispersed to families of martyrs. Furthermore, the report indicated that disadvantaged families identified in 6 subzones have been rehabilitated with livestock, and 45,000 nakfa contributed by government employees has been distributed to 9 disadvantaged families. Mr. Ammaha Kidane, Director General of Administration and Finance at the Ministry of Labour and Social Welfare, said that more effort will be exerted to organize training programs with a view to develop capacity of disadvantaged families to enable them become self-supportive and produce members of the society. Commending the effort being exerted to avoid harmful traditional practices, Colonel Tesfatyan Girmay, Director of Social Service in the Anspar region, called for active participation to control the prevalence of the practices. That was our domestic news. Please stay tuned for the international news right after the short break. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday rejected conditions presented by Hamas to end the war and release hostages that would include Israel's complete withdrawal and leaving Hamas in power in Gaza. A deal brokered in late November by the United States, Qatar and Egypt saw the release of more than 100 of the estimated 240 hostages who were taken captive to Gaza during an attack by Hamas militants on October 7 in exchange for the release of 240 Palestinians held in Israeli prisons. Since that deal ended, Netanyahu has faced mounting pressure to secure the release of the 136 hostages who remain in captivity. Netanyahu also took a stronger line on the issue of Palestinian statehood than previously. U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday, January 19, said he spoke with Netanyahu about possible solutions for creation of an independent Palestinian state, suggesting one path could involve a non-militarized government. Netanyahu said that he faces down international pressure to change this position. Nearly 90 weather-related deaths have been recorded across the United States after the country was hit by a ferocious winter storm for the past week. The deaths include at least 25 in Tennessee and 16 in Oregon, which remains under a state of emergency following severe ice storms. Tens of thousands of people also remain without power across wide swaths of the country. Icy conditions are expected to continue until the middle of the week. While the death toll has been greatest in Tennessee and Oregon, fatalities have also been reported in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Washington, Kentucky, Wisconsin, New York, New Jersey, and elsewhere. Water issues also continue to plague Tennessee, with 400,000 remain under a boil water due to broken pipes in the Memphis area, while electricity has largely been restored in areas of the U.S. that lost it due to the winter weather. Tens of thousands of people remain without power across the country. Please stay tuned now for a recap of tonight's headlines. Minister Osman Saleh addresses the Third South Summit. Calls for more effort to ensure rights of children. Israel's Netanyahu rejects Hamas condition for hostage deal. Nearly 90 dead after fierce winter storms strike the United States. And that was our news for tonight, dear viewers. It is good night from us.